Hi everyone, I'm going to show you guys how to do the start of feeding in an extension into someone's hair. So I did do a video of this on YouTube previously, but I really want to get into the details on how to do it nice and slow and how to start off with a really nice clean braid from the beginning to the end. So let me go ahead and show you guys. But before I do, I want to show you guys how I mix in the hair and then all the products I use, and then you guys will see what I do to start braiding. All right guys, so now I have two extensions here. I'm gonna be mixing these two together. And so it's gonna be like a bluish purple hair, and I will show you how I mix this. By the way, this is on my website if you guys wanna check out this tinsely hair. It's one of my favorites. I have 3 colors of this. And then, yeah, let me go ahead and just show you guys how I mix these two. Beautiful. I'm just gonna be mixing these two together, 2 full hair extensions, just like this, not like half of this and not half of that, 2 full ones. So we're gonna go ahead and put these 2 hairs together like so. And then with my fingers, splitting this, going downwards, putting this on top of each other, again, splitting it, putting our fingers through it, going in a downwards motion, and then again on top of each other. And we're just gonna be doing this for the rest, for a while basically. And then you're gonna start seeing this is kind of getting a little bit tangly, but so we have the hair just like so, and you can either use a brush and brush from downwards up, just to get all those tangles. Or, and this is a big or because you don't have to do this one, but I love my tool that I use to really mix these together. And I would also suggest that this is for more of like professionals that use this type of tool. This is how it's looking when I brushed it out. This is totally fine. You can do this. It just takes a little bit more time using the brush. So I love to use this tool right over here. This is called a hackle. The hackle is really good if you want to go ahead and mix colors really well. Now, I do want to warn you guys that the hackle is super, super, super sharp, so please be careful with this. I have already hurt my fingers way too much with this thing, so please be careful. So we're gonna also do it just like the brush, starting from the bottom to the top. So from the bottom, we're just brushing, and you're just gonna start flipping the hair to different directions, and then just working our way up. Again, just being very careful. We don't wanna stab our fingers, just like so. All right, so now it's really brushing through those hairs, and we're just gonna be mixing. So just like that, this is how it's looking. Okay, now we're just gonna keep mixing it. So again, with our fingers, going in a downwards motion. Okay, putting it on top of each other one more time. And we're just gonna be doing this again and again until I like the mixture. Okay, and then there might be like little scruffs like this, totally fine. You're gonna grab that and then just start twisting, and then it just comes right off. So my beautiful model actually really loves the color of this, so we are good to go with this color mixture, guys. So we got that tinsel and that dark purple mix. It's a really nice combination. So we're happy with this. Now we can go ahead and start with the beginning of our braid. Okay guys, I also wanted to mention how I place the hairs in order it to look really natural looking or really full on my client. I'm gonna show you guys how I put this hair and section it out for the two feed-in braids. So let's go ahead. This is how the hair is, right? So this is my two extensions mixed together like so. Now these are gonna be the two rows I'm gonna be working with. The first two is gonna be at the very, very top of the head. So we're gonna be using like two strands from the top of her head for the two braids, okay? So it's gonna be super small, then we're gonna add a little bit more of the extensions in order to give that like nice full look. Now, I just wanna let you guys know, for this style that we're gonna be doing, it is gonna be a lot more hair than usual, so you wanna make sure before you're putting the hair, you have to ask your clients, do they want big? Do they want the hair to be really big? Do they want it to be thin? So those are things you have to ask in order to put the correct amount of hair on someone's head. So we're gonna start off with a little strand like this. Okay, so I just grabbed a little strand, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna separate it. But that's how we're gonna make both sides nice and even, by separating it, splitting that together, okay? So I'm happy with these two, I'm feeling them, and this is exactly the same size. I feel like this is the same size, it looks the same size. I'm happy with this. So we're gonna have this on one side of the head, and this is gonna be the other side of the head. This is gonna be our beginning feed-in. Now, for the next two rows, we're gonna go ahead and make it a little bit bigger than our first one. So we're gonna grab some of this, split it. Also, I just wanna mention, when you split it, it's better to do in a downwards motion so that the hairs don't get tangled together. So, this is a little bit bigger than the first one. Splitting this together. And then, as I said it, of course I don't split from the bottom. I split separately. So let's see. I'm feeling them, I'm looking at it. I feel like this is a good amount, and they look pretty similar, feels very similar, so I'm okay with this. I'm adding this to the next row. Now, for the third section, we're gonna do, and we're gonna mimic this for the rest of the rows, because this is just gonna be all the same, okay? So we're just gonna make this a little bit bigger than these two. A little bit bigger. Okay, so I'm feeling my hair. I feel like this is a good amount. Okay, I'm splitting this. Going downwards motion. Feeling them. Okay, I am happy with the size. This is bigger than these two, and I really, really like this. So now we're just gonna try to mimic this one all throughout the rows. And if you guys feel like this is not enough, again, this kind of depends on if the person wants long braids. You can continue on to the other side or another row to continue on to add in more hair while you're braiding in. So we're just gonna do it from the rest of these rows, and then if I need to, I'll add some more just to see if she really wants longer braids or if I wanna make it more fuller. So you'll start to see that. Splitting these two together, feeling them, making sure they're the same size, adding that in. And then last section, splitting them, feeling them. Okay, I feel like this is a good amount. We're just gonna add it in. Perfect. So now we have two rows and it's continuing on. So this is gonna be added into the whole hair, and I'll explain while we're starting the braid. So like I showed you guys before, so we're gonna have this as our outer strand, is gonna go in between these fingers. These are gonna be in between these fingers, okay? Our middle fingers. Then we're gonna place this right on the scalp. So let's make this nice and close together on the scalp. And this is gonna be our middle strand. So middle strand, outer strands, and we are placing it as close to her head as possible. We have our fingers and the hair placed in the correct finger placement. We're gonna lift up her actual hair, and we're gonna pinch and then let go. So my hand is free. We have her actual hair lifted up, and I'm holding this with my crab fingers. My crab fingers is my index finger and thumb. I'm holding it in place. I am not moving my hands from her scalp. This is gonna make the braids really nice, tight, and last a very long time, as long as you keep those fingers close to the forming braid and close to her scalp, okay? This is the key. So now we have this so far, okay? So I'm gonna pinch with my crab fingers. So these two are my crab fingers, this one and this one. And we're gonna place each strand onto these middle ones. So we're gonna pinch, put these in the middle strand, lift this up as my middle strand now, pinch this to my crab finger, so go underneath, pinch, and then let go, okay? One more time, because we wanna kind of double knot this, so it's like nice and secure. So I'm gonna go ahead, grab this middle strand, right? So this, my hand is free here. I'm gonna pinch with my crab fingers, and then we're gonna put this in the middle strand, my middle fingers. So this is gonna be my middle finger and then my ring finger. Lift this middle strand up, pinch this underneath, and then let go. So now this is gonna be my middle strand. This is the natural hair is on my outer strand, and then the other extensions on the outer strand. The reason why I did this is so that this is gonna create a knot in the beginning of the hair. Now this is super, super important if you really wanna get this nice, clean start from the braid. Before adding in extensions, before adding in more hair, you wanna make sure you braid this twice, just how I showed you with this finger placement. Okay, this is super, super important. Now, let's go ahead and add hair, okay? What we're gonna do, and you can start from either way, you can start from the outer section of this side of her head, or you can start on the other side of the head. Since my hand is already placed here, I'm gonna go ahead and just add in hair from this side of her head, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our rat tail comb. I'm gonna go ahead and add in some hair, and I'm gonna pinch it to my crab finger. Notice my hand is free here, so I'm able to do things. This is super important and why the finger placement is so important. We're gonna have that in our crab finger, so it's pinching on it. We still have this strand that's out, and this is still the middle strand, okay? So now that we have this hair added, her actual hair added, like so on the crab fingers, we're gonna add in more extensions, which is the fake hair, as you can see right over here. We're gonna go ahead and feed it in. I'm gonna feed it. So just before I start this, you notice how my finger placement, how I'm holding the hair extension. I'm holding it with 3 fingers, getting my index finger and my thumb, my crab fingers, I guess you could say, stretching this out, holding this nice tight together, and so that I can just feed this into those crab fingers here, okay? Honestly, this is kind of too big. I feel like this is gonna make the braids really bulky, so I'm gonna actually get a little less from less hair. So what I'm gonna do, you don't have to worry, I'm gonna grab this, hold it nice and tight, separate this hair. So now I have less hair. And if you guys need to do this beforehand, please do so, because I know that might be a little bit hard for the beginners. So now I have my hair, I'm holding it nice and tight. My crab fingers are stretched out. We're gonna feed this into this crab fingers right here, okay? Okay, so now we're gonna add in the extensions. I'm gonna add it into my crab fingers, making sure my hand is not moving. This hair is combined with this strand from the outer strand. This is gonna be our new middle strand. So now I'm combining it with this strand. And now, making sure again, my fingers are not moving, I'm gonna grab it with my crab fingers, adding it onto my middle strand, my middle fingers, lifting up this middle strand. Okay, this might be hard for some people, so you're gonna pinch, go up, and then with my crab fingers, pinch, go under, and let go. My hand is free now. Now we're gonna continue on. We're gonna add in new hair. So each side we go, we're gonna be adding her actual hair. Now, I grabbed some hair, I'm adding it into my pinching fingers, not moving my actual hand, okay? This is so important with the finger placement. If you don't have this right, the braid's not gonna look cute. Now, if you want to, you can go ahead and add in more extension on this side. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Now, the difference between adding it in here now, it kind of makes the color more fuller throughout the braids. Rather than if you just add in on one side, the color is gonna show more on one side of the braids than on this side. So if you want to add both sides, you definitely can. So I'm gonna grab some hair, just like so. Add it in. Because I for this braid, I wanted to do it, and I think it's gonna give a nice distribution of the colors. Okay, so I added it in, just like so, adding it to my crab fingers, not moving my hands. I'm gonna grab the middle strand. Okay. All right, putting this into these middle fingers, just like so. Lifting this one up, actually, so like this is my middle strand, oops. So lifting up my middle strand, pinching this outer strand, and then letting go. Okay, let's continue onwards. Adding more hair to her head. Beautiful, and I added that hair to her pinching fingers, not moving my hand. Letting her hair fall on top of this hand and not like one hair is like this way, one hair on that way. That's gonna be too confusing. We want all this hair kind of just falling this way, okay? So we're gonna grab, see this hair that's like falling on top? This is gonna be the new outer strand, okay? So before I do so, remember I'm adding hair to each side, extension hair. So I'm gonna grab some hair. I feel like this is too full, so I'm gonna add in less. So I kind of split that. We're gonna add in this hair, feed it in. So now this extension is going to this finger. This extension is going into this strand, okay? And this is gonna be the middle strand. You'll see in just a bit. This strand is gonna be the new outer strand. So I'm gonna pinch this, move it into my middle fingers like so. So let's get that all organized. Putting this into these fingers, lifting this middle strand, pinching, and then letting go. Now I'm gonna add in more hair. Okay, so this time I didn't use my comb. You don't have to. If you want to use your fingernails, you can definitely do so. So I added her actual hair into the crab fingers. I'm liking how this looks like. I'm kind of organizing where all the hairs are, nice and combed out with my fingers. And then I'm gonna add in on this side again, more extension. So holding this like this, extending my index finger and my thumb, the crab fingers, holding this nice and tight, we're gonna feed in more hair, just like so. Wow, look at that. Now, this is my outer strand, because we're gonna go underneath, and this is gonna be the middle strand. So we're gonna grab this outer strand, grabbing with my fingers, crab fingers, adding it to the middle strands, my middle fingers, right, just like so. Lifting this up, lifting my hand like so, lifting this up, pinching this hair underneath, and letting go. My hand is free. My hand is not moving from her scalp. Okay, we're gonna keep going. Adding in new hair. Using my comb just to really get nice clean partings. Beautiful. Okay. Getting a little bit less hair. What was I thinking about this big freaking strands? Okay, adding in more extensions. Beautiful. And one more time, we're gonna get this, pinch these, put it into this fingers. So pinch all of this together, put it into these fingers. Lift this middle strand up, go under, pinch, and let go. Now the only difference between put the extensions and actually doing on her real hair is that this becomes kind of a lot. Now you can see there's so much more extensions and it's a lot for my hand to take. So this is gonna take a lot of practice, and you guys have to do this on your own and really keep practicing in order to really grab all that hair with just the one hand. So this takes time. It took me a month of just nonstop practicing for me to really get the hang of this, okay? So again, I added new hair from her actual hair, added into my crab fingers, added in more extension, just like so, holding this like this, grabbing all that hair, pinching it out, and we're gonna feed that in. Beautiful. All right, now we're gonna go, see, now it's a lot. So we're gonna grab this in my fingers. We're gonna put this in the middle of these strands. Later on, if you get really good at this, you don't have to do in these two fingers because it's gonna get overwhelming with the amount of hair. You can just kind of grab it like so and then pinch. But for this video, we're doing this for the beginners. We are doing it the correct way. So we're gonna grab this hair, putting it into these fingers, lifting this up, pinching, and letting go. It's super close to the scalp, going in a downwards motion. And then we're also making sure that it's nice and tight and snug, getting really close to that nape area. Okay, so my hand is super close. We're getting all these like red strands, tucking that underneath. And every single time my hand is like on her head, like so. So I'm grabbing this hair, nice and tight, lifting this up, going underneath. And my hand again is not moving. It's going close to the forming braid. And we are just making sure everything is nice and secure. Okay, that is the key. Again, the key to all of this is just really close to the scalp. If you do not do this, the braid is not clean, the braid is not cute, and your braids ain't gonna be cute like that. I don't know how else to tell you. So again, so we see all of this hair, we're gonna just kind of tuck it underneath the actual hair. We're gonna tuck in her actual hair under this synthetic hair. This also helps to make the braids last a longer time, because if the hair is outwards, some of that hair can start to frizz up and it just doesn't look that cute. And it also can actually protect your hair from like the weather and from like outer sources. So that's why it's really nice to get all that synthetic hair covering the actual hair. So we're gonna get some more product, slap that on. Alrighty. Okay, grabbing that with our pinching fingers, getting that into my middle finger, okay? My middle fingers, grabbing that, lifting it up, pinching and letting go. Oops, that one wasn't really that tight. Sorry, I was getting into it. Okay, now, brushing this out again. We're gonna grab all this hair, going under, okay, nice and tight, close to her nape as possible. And now I'm flipping my hands instead of going like this, where my hands is like, my palm is facing down, we're flipping my hands so my palms are facing up. Just because I don't need to go on her scalp like that, so my palms are like on her head. The palms are gonna be flipped over because we're going just braiding in a downwards motion. So now I'm just gonna be braiding downwards. Okay, nice and tight, and now my hands are faced this way, okay? Alright guys, this is the finished look on how to create these beautiful 2 feed-in braids. I tried to make sure that it was super in-depth, step by step, and I really hope you did find this video helpful. Please give a like, that I know I'm doing an okay job for you guys. And if you guys can, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. This is a small little channel that is growing, and I would love to share more videos with you guys on different styles, hair products, whatever you guys want. Go ahead and comment down below so I know what to make for the next video. All right, guys, have a wonderful and blessed day. Stay tuned for the next one.